There was a question on the 30-meter telescope project, so I just thought that I would start with that. I actually had wanted to talk about that, and I just ran out of time in my comments. You know, I've publicly stated that I do support the 30-meter telescope project. As you all know, the Hawaii Supreme Court had ruled the permit invalid and has ordered the Board of Land and Natural Resources to take up the permit again. So you might have read in the paper, we went through the process of selecting an impartial hearings officer. That hearings officer is retired Judge Ricky Amano, and she's restarted the contested case hearing on the permit. The university has applied for a permit to allow the 30-meter telescope project to proceed. So I just want you to know that we are supporting Judge Amano in her efforts to conduct fair and impartial hearing. We do know, and we are providing the resources that she needs to have the hearing, and I know that she's already had a couple of sessions and decisions affecting that permit application. So, you know, we will continue to move through with that. Yes?
Governor, I'd like to make a statement in support of the telescope, but also in disappointment with the way that you've handled the telescope. For example, I'm looking at this and there isn't one mention in your newsletter about the 30-meter telescope. This is a critically important development for the future of our island and our children. Hawaii's future generations are going to look back with shame at those who are protesting it now. They've picked the wrong issue. And everyone in government seems to be really cowardly about dealing with these protesters. For example, state and federal laws were not enforced when they've blocked the roads. Can you assure me that this is going to change and that you're going to step up and enforce the laws?
We certainly are committed to enforcing the laws. As I said, we are focused on providing a fair and impartial process as ordered by the Hawaii Supreme Court. We definitely are committed and are prepared to enforce the laws to ensure that we can provide safe access to the Mauna Kea site should the permits proceed and the project proceed forward.
But I get one to you, ma'am. You, no one came out speak. I'm going to speak for my people and I'm going to speak for my country. Hawaii, you guys still never deal with us yet. You guys dealing with the homeless. You guys dealing with everybody out there and you looking at them. I am the evidence, not the crime here. Animal house now, I'm homeless, houseless, whatever you guys call it. Okay. My question to you, this country over here, Hawaii, was given to his people by the king. And he formed this government. 1/3 for his chiefs and his ruling people. 1/3 for his government. And 1/3 to the Maka'aina. And all of his resources from the mountain to the sea. So as above and everything below. That is our kuleana. That's us. We are the Kanaka people. Yes. Mine. Okay. Let's wait. This is the issue.
Let's ask the governor
The
a
issue
question.
is this.
Right.
In fact, you guys didn't get our love letter. That's why they no can move up on our mountain because it came from the Hawaiian kingdom. One palapala sila nui. One document came from us. And it's to do with the laws of Kamehameha III that protect everybody's rights here in this room. We all have treaties with countries. The United States and everybody else is coming over here on the 30th to go bomb our mountain. They're no more toilet up there. They're no more toilet down there where you guys talking about.
Mr. Louie, I'd like to give the governor an opportunity to respond to a couple of questions.
I come over here for kau. For come and go give my mana'o now. That land you guys talk about, 9225B and Kawa, and the state, the county, the federal have no jurisdiction over this land. They never did.
No, they don't.
Okay? That thing is our
out in
Kuleana.
1880.
Okay?
Let's not have this discussion here.
This is about truth coming out
Mr.
in
Wu.
front of all of you people. You guys go out there and go do you guys homework. Huh? Queen Little Kalani said what? We would rather eat this pohaku than sell our land. And it
Queen
is
Lily
our
Okalani
Kuleana
said all
to take care of that
Hawaiians are
mountain.
astronomers.
Astronomer had nothing. The astronomer, this is, wait, Kalamaya. If you was cook, that's where you like. If you was tarot man, you go there. You was fisherman, that's where you go. You was the guy that take care of doo-doo, that's where you go. You the tarot man, you the pohaku man, you the fisherman. What kind of fisherman are you? Daytime, nighttime, or all around? This is our country. This is how it was built on. It didn't just come out of one book. It came from our elders. And I'm a witness to all of this, and so are you. So all of you folks, you guys are just guests here in Hawaii. Why you guys treat us guys like this? You guys been doing this for years. You guys know like change.
I will acknowledge tonight Mr. Lino Kamakau joining us. He's our Hawaii Island branch chief for the Division of Conservation and Resources Enforcement. A very humble guy. Thank you for being here, Lino.
Come in. You cannot stand out there. You have to come in. That is my rule.
But
so
I also,
sorry.
I also wanted to say, in case you're wondering why I don't have all of the answers, the chair of the department, as well as the water deputy that would have answered the Kehoe question, they had land board today in Honolulu, so they couldn't join us. So I apologize. There's some things I don't know, but I've noted and are committed to responding to.
Well, that's it. I know you're not the chair, and one of the questions was about the land board, this person feeling they have a track record of allowing land uses in conservation districts that are inconsistent with conservation. So this person's looking for more administrative rules. That never sounds good to me personally, because you have a lot of administrative rules, but how can that problem be dealt with?
Well, I'm aware of one particular legislation this year, and I believe it was signed by governor, in which certain issues that have a statewide impact of some sort can now bypass the land board and go straight to the Supreme Court for consideration. So that's one way of looking at it as an alternative for those issues that have been more complicated.
Because he and I were on the same place last year at this time. I don't think it's appropriate for somebody to call law enforcement cowardly for not being more aggressive with their actions on the moment that day. I just wanted to say that. Far be it from me to stick up for DLNR, but I will in this case. Okay, and I want to say that it is for our children. The comment I'd heard was that it was cowardly, that you guys were not more trying to enforce the laws on the moment. And I want to say that I don't believe that's true, and I don't believe that comment is appropriate if you weren't there. And it is for our children.
I just make a
Yes,
comment
sir.
on dog care. I just wanted to just make a comment on the dog care officers at Mauna Kea. I do personally think that they did a terrific job of balancing the interest of those who are there to protest and being cognizant of their responsibility to keep the community safe. And the fact of the matter was that the state was not prepared for that situation, and that we did not have enough enforcement officers on Mauna Kea. So I take responsibility for that. I do think that those dog care officers, and I met with them after the incident, did a terrific job under very, very difficult circumstances. And I really appreciate their work and their ability to balance the challenges of our community of diverse needs. So just wanted to say that. Go ahead.
Good. Let me just ask this question because this person turned it in. 30-meter telescope did promise to provide a lot of funding for STEM education. And in fact, all the observatories really do a lot of participation in that area. But should we lose 30-meter telescope, what's the plan to be able to replace that kind of funding, which would be really, really great funding for us to have?
I've been a strong advocate for increased funding for STEM education. I do know that the applied learning that's involved with, robotics or creative media or a lot of the other STEM areas are really the kinds of things that our children want to learn and are fully engaged in. And we do know that when they are learning through applying and doing, they retain and master skills in a lifelong way. So, I'm personally committed to doing that. I've advocated for increased funding for STEM education as a senator, and we continue. We hope that the project is able to move forward, and we will find other ways to support STEM education, because we do know that it's the programs that our children are interested in.